Writing an academic essay is not about magic. It's all about making conscious choices throughout the research process, step by step. In other words, a great essay just doesn't happen. You have to make it happen. An essay consists of many parts, all equally important. In this film, we'll take a look at 5 important aspects and give you some advice on how to develop your essay writing skills. A relevant question captures a research problem and fills a gap in previous research. In order for your essay to make a contribution, you need to read what has already been done in your field. You have to come up with an open-ended research question. That question will influence all the other parts of your essay, from case selection to conclusions. An open-ended question differs from a thesis-driven question. If you know the answer already and the question drives the research in a predetermined direction, it's a thesis-driven question. If you don't know the answer and the question can lead to many different conclusions, it's an open-ended question. To what extent has the securitization of drugs reduced individual security? To what extent has the securitization of drugs affected individual security?
Ask yourself this: is there a puzzle that needs to be solved in my field?
An example: imposing sanctions on a state is supposed to undermine the regime, but in some cases we can observe increased support for the regime. How come? A theoretical framework is crucial to an academic essay. Without it, your essay will become nothing but a compilation of information, and you'll run the risk of drowning in empirical data. A theory gives you a certain perspective and helps you to focus on the relevant parts of the research material. Different theories offer different approaches to study your question.
In order to find a relevant and interesting theoretical framework to your question, ask yourself, what is this a case of?
Here's an example. What impact have the recent military reforms had on military professionalism in China? This question can be seen as, for example, a case of organizational studies or a case of professionalization of the officer corps. As a result, the first study would be a public administration study on organizational changes, and the other, a sociological study on the military officer profession. A good essay is analytical, not descriptive. An analytical essay does not just state facts, but explains something, shows how something works. To simply report and describe your data is not enough. You need to analyze it.
Introduce the concept of variation. One way is to make comparisons. Why do local conflicts turn violent in some regions, but not in others? Or to look at time-driven variations. How has the view on migration within the European Union changed over the past 20 years?
The basis of any academic work is to apply critical thinking. But don't confuse it with being opinionated. If your arguments rest solely on opinions and feelings and cannot be backed up by academic theories or facts, they don't belong in an essay. Critical thinking, on the other hand, is research-based and rational. In an academic essay, you argue your point by scrutinizing both your own and other people's theories.
Identify and question your own and others' assumptions. Are there any possible alternative explanations to my findings? If so, what are they? Question arguments in the literature. Are they valid? Are they coherent? Are they current?
There's a clear difference between plagiarism and source references. If an idea or argument is not your own, you reference the source. Your list of references is important for two reasons: to make the source accessible to the reader, to increase the credibility of your arguments.
Choose a well-established reference system and use it consistently.
Time to get started. The outcome of your choices will make up your essay, so apply yourself to each and every step of the process. Be patient, be critical, and be consistent.
Remember to ask for advice from your supervisors throughout the process. Do your best and start writing.